I went and played basketball. I went to see if old Larry Jailbird. I felt like celebrating, the big W for the toe. The W was sweet this morning, but it was even sweeter the rest of the day when all of the boys involved with that abortion catastrophe of a show, some are calling it the worst show of all time. Watching them all retreat to their hug boxes to try and assure themselves they're not the biggest failure pieces of shit who ever existed. I did a drive-by on them today. I just did a quick 30-minute. I lit up the street and then I walked away and did the rest of the show because my audience expects a real show. They have a higher standard than those people. So I had to do a quick little street sweeper, quick little drive-by. You don't really need to do much when those guys bomb as badly as they did and expose themselves to the world and prove Aaron right. So I just had to do a quick drive-by, kneel on the football, run out the clock, game's over, win for the toe. They all retreated to the hug boxes, trying to convince their audiences, but it sounded more like trying to convince themselves they didn't look like complete retards. And look, I'm glad I could make them do it. I'm glad I could make them do it without lifting a goddamn finger. It really was something special. The only thing that pisses me off is that they with a decent guy who needs something other than what the system is giving him, and I hope people can put their hate of me aside and realize that that was a real piece of shit thing to do. If you can't, that really sucks, but it does prove me right again about what I've said about you guys. Like, you guys who watch this shit, you don't have to be as disgusting and autistic and awful as the people you watch. Like, you do have a choice to be above that, to be better. And I would be impressed if you were. If you could, not to me, but if you could admit, like, okay, I was wrong to follow this shit. This is fucked up. This is creepy. These guys are weird. I'd have a lot of respect for you. Again, you don't have to like me. I'm probably not your cup of tea. As a matter of fact, if that's the kind of thing you like, I'd rather you didn't be a fan of mine because that's not what we do and not what we're going for. But if you can't see the holes in the shit you used to believe in, it makes me sad, but it makes me right again. So, and yeah, Larry Jailbird made his return to the court today. Larry Jailbird made a comeback, and, I turn this off if you don't like Aaron talking about his basketball acumen. If you don't like the idea that you watch podcasts of dorks who care what people think and who stalk people, and you don't want to hear a guy talk about how he's still playing basketball at a pickup game level, just turn this off. You're not going to like it. I went in today, and the gym became a little more populated as time went on. I warmed up and did all of that stuff. And I don't know what it is about Larry Jailbird, but black people walk up to Larry Jailbird and talk to him about basketball because I think I was one of two white guys there. And I was wearing my Troy Bell Boston College jersey that I wore in high school, still fits. And I was wearing my Gophers basketball shorts. And one of the black guys comes up to me. He goes, "Oh, man, yo, you sneaky, you trouble." I'm like, well, "No, not me." He goes, "No, man, you got like the matching shit on." Now, it was Boston College and U of M, so the colors are similar, but it's not matching. But he's like, "You brought the matching shit, man. You're serious. You mean?" I'm like, "No, man." I told him, I go, "No, man, I'm old and I'm slow." He goes, nah, you got that sneaky shit like Luka Doncic. And I'm like, oh, God, they're not. And then I was like, when he said that, I was like, I can tell this story on the air, and I can make 5% of the people watching really angry and mad. They didn't say that to Toe. He's a piece of shit. You already know. Your cover's been blown. Black people love me. You already know that I am a basketball savant, and I am white. So Larry Jailbird, a Luka reference. I'm not a Luka guy. I don't like the Lakers, so I'd rather stick with Larry Jailbird. But look, I'd like to tell you that, that jail was a fluke and I can't ball anymore, but I balled a little today. Now, it is the St. Cloud YMCA. So if you need to give them a phone call to interview them and ask me If Aaron was out on the basketball court today, or if he checked in, make sure you get the right YMCA. I don't want you to be upset. You guys are not going to live that down, by the way. I'm going to pull that card every single time because I don't think they realize how pathetic it is yet. They're still in denial, and we all do, and it's really funny. So, yes, it was fun to play basketball again today. I'm sorry that so many people had to just – I bet you those guys are in a group text together, and all since Friday they've been texting each other in group text, coping like, this doesn't make us look that bad. Aaron's still like a really bad guy and blah, blah. And it was still going on today. They heard me roast him, and they went, oh, you know he's totally wrong about everything, right? Truly, let me get on your show so I can cope to you, and you'll just nod and tell me I'm right. It does bring me perverse joy. No, Pen 15 Fathead says, I think you need to challenge Z-Man to a match. Oh, the Z-Man and I, here's what we can do. Next time Z-Man comes up to Minnesota, Z-Man can either, we can go one-on-one at the Y, or Z-Man and I could run twos, and we could own the court. We could see how long we could own the court for. How about, and we'll live stream the whole thing. Z-Man and I run in the court. He can run point because he's shorter. I'll play down low. We'll dominate. We'll dominate. Every pervert and disgusting, psychologically deviant, and intellectually devoid person who's an absolute basket of rat shit has used David to justify all of their retarded, sacrilegious horseshit. To a man, these cowards take refuge in David and then ignore everything else. Oh, look at that. Nice. I just got a notification from USA Boxing that we're good for this year and all of next year. Awesome. Taste Fairy Ialto says, I hope the shit about Mikey isn't true. So do I, but the people who did that to him don't give a f***. Because honestly, all they wanted was, Toe Man bad. I need to cope about the Toe Man. He's a bad guy. And they didn't get their way. So they fed this poor guy to the wolves, and they don't give a shit. But don't worry. As long as you can convince yourself that Toe Man bad, you can excuse that like the most evil shit people have probably done in this area for a long time is totally okay. Because they were trying to show Toe Man bad. And by the way, make them comment, make them address the fact that I totally told the truth, which isn't surprising. They'll still cope about it. The one great part about that whole thing is they've all been exposed and they cannot handle it. And they'll be coping about that forever. It would be so easy for them to say, we were wrong about Aaron. Aaron actually seems like he's a pretty cool guy who makes friends pretty much everywhere he goes, which would be honest and it would be the truth. Can't do it. I dare them to do it. They won't be able to. They can't. I mean, they had to cope even harder.